Hi friends, as the HR landscape across the globe keeps on evolving, so today we shall discuss one such newer trend in the world of talent acquisition. Many organizations across the world have started using ADCs as their part of hiring and selection. So please join me as I explore more about it with my mom, who has been a certified assessor in many ADCs. Mama, what is an assessment and development center?
Shagun, an assessment and development center, is a comprehensive evaluation process which organizations use to assess the skill, behavior, and potential of their employees or job applicants. These centers typically involve a series of structured exercises and activities that stimulate the tasks and challenges that are relevant to the job role or the organizational context. The typical purpose of assessment development centers is to identify strengths, weaknesses, and development areas of the participant.
What type of exercise or activity can a participant expect at an ADC?
Shagun, assessment exercise could include simulations, role plays, case studies, presentations, group discussions, group activity, in-basket exercises, psychometric exercises, behavior event interviews. These are designed to mimic the real life situation or real life work scenarios, which means if anybody is applying for a managerial role, so they can expect that, they are being given a role play where they are acting as a manager and the assessor is acting as a subordinate, and how they handle the given situation could be the role play. Similarly, in simulation exercises or group discussion or group activities, you could be given a business scenario that this is how your business is running and this is the business problem, and how as a group you resolve that particular problem could be a simulation exercise, group discussion, or a group activity. Similarly, in behavior event interviews, they will ask you interview questions which will be, coming up from the events. Like if you have done anything for the negotiation skills, you have to cite an example, anything about teamwork, because generally all these exercises, they assess your leadership skills, your team building skills, your negotiation skills, your collaboration skills, your decision making skills. Somebody applying for a senior leadership role, they might get a role play or a case study where they have to study about a business. A booklet is being given where the entire case study is there, so they have to read it, comprehend it, and present it to the assessor who might be playing the role of a CEO. So they would have to present their entire case to them. So right from the entry level jobs to the senior leadership roles, organizations across the world use ADC as a comprehensive tool to evaluate the job candidates or the existing employees.
Mom, what role do assessors play in the ADC process?
Shagun, in any ADC process, generally there is a group of trained assessors who evaluate and observe the candidates while they perform all these exercises. Typically, a candidate, while doing all those different exercises, go through different assessors, so there is no bias in the process. And it is role of assessors to stick completely to the criteria of the assessment set, because organization to organization, the criteria of assessment can differ. An organization may want X qualities in their people and another may want Y. Similarly, for entry level, there could be different things that you want to assess, and for senior level, there could be different things that you want to assess. So it is job of the assessor that they completely stick to the criteria. Depending upon organization to organization, the choice of assessor could differ. Many organizations go for a mix of internal and external assessors. In internal assessor, they have their own HR professionals and line managers, and external consultants could include generally people who are veteran in the industry or in HR. And on the other hand, they can decide that they want to completely outsource and want to hire consultant for it, or they can also decide to keep it entirely internal and their own members carry out the assessment.
How can candidates effectively demonstrate their teamwork and leadership skills at the time of their ADC?
Shagun, a candidate can do so by breaking the ice. Yes, in start of any group activity or a group discussion, if you initiate the discussion or you actively support and buck up people to speak up, especially those who are not able to speak or are hesitant, you can surely win the game of being a leader. Also, while doing activities, how accommodative you are for others' view and are you giving others chances also depict how collaborative you are. So remember, though you are in a competition and competing for a high paying job, do not forget to be empathetic and cooperative toward people.
Can you please discuss some mistakes which candidates usually make at the time of ADCs?
Shagun, certain mistake that candidates can do during their ADC is, one is they become too competitive, does not have any empathy towards their co-members who are participating with them. Let's say in a group discussion, if somebody thinks that, I keep on speaking and I would get good marks because I'm presenting my ideas, but not allowing others to speak can actually go in a negative for you. Second mistake that generally people do in ADC is that, especially during the role play or case study, they're not easily able to, digest the fact that they are doing a role, and the assessor who is sitting in front of them, who could be a veteran, somebody maybe age of their father or grandfather, is a subordinate. So if you are doing a role play where you are a manager and they are playing the role of subordinate, many people could not digest, many youngsters could not digest that fact and are not able to present it well, because they could not visualize that a senior member is playing their subordinate's role. So we have to understand that it is just a scenario, just a role play. Get into the skin of that role, behaved in a way that the manager would have been behaved and would have handled the situation. Third mistake that candidates can do and should avoid during an ADC is that while they are doing their activity, the assessor is noting down either maybe with a pen or paper or maybe on a laptop, and the job applicants, they just get distracted or disturbed, because in a role play, if I'm speaking something and in front of me the person who is supposed to be my CEO or my subordinate or a peer is just typically typing and writing it down, can distract me from free flow of my thoughts, what I went there to express, And even in the interview, if I'm expressing my views and somebody is just typing and not looking into my eyes, could deviate me that, whether they are listening or not. So believe me, they are listening to you, they are jotting down their notes, so don't get worried about it at all. Mistake that can happen during a typical ADC is not wearing the appropriate clothing. Let's say somebody wear a pencil skirt, right? And the assessment involves a lot of physical activities to be done. So it can become difficult for a person. Similarly, if somebody is wearing heels and there are typical activities that may involve a lot of movement from here to there, create a problem for a job applicant. So candidates should have a comprehensive understanding of the kind of ADC they are about to attend, so they know what appropriate clothing they should be choosing for that ADC. One mistake that candidates can do in an ADC is not being expressive. Please be vocal. You remember your parents saying that do not leave a question but write whatever you know. So if you leave a question, the teacher has to give you a 0. But if you write something, there could be some marks. So similarly, if you're not vocal during your group activities, during your BEI, during your role play, the assessor could not give you marks or assessor could not give you a rating. So be vocal, express whatever you know best, prepare well, do not go unprepared. Understand about the organization that you are appearing for, understand the role, the kind of values, the vision that company has.
Dear Mom, thanks a lot for answering all these queries around the ADC process. Hope this video will help all those freshers as well as professionals who might have to undergo the ADC process to grab the best next opportunity for their future.